just check out certain things.
Yeah, I know
right?
a lot, you know.
All right.
A lot. Just
Okay, yeah.
That's why I was getting a pocket for all the time I was following it with the app on my phone. I got the Bible with the apocrypha app on my phone. But I said I want to get the actual book instead of getting
yes, keep
all
on
the
into
time,
it.
right?
Alright.
But it's a lot, I know there's a lot to it because we're trying to hit the streets just now too. So I just putting in the work right now and doing the studying.
Okay.
Because soon we trying to hit the streets. Just say how we want the streets.
Yeah, so what?
We gotta get this word.
Yeah.
The congregation is the university. We do there on the Sabbath. We go at university. And we do our classes there on the Sabbath.
Okay.
Right there.
Well, you know, just the fire is in me, you know. I come to this island, so you know I have to do the work. I'm not gonna, gallivant like other people, huh?
You're not from here?
No.
Where you from?
Huh?
Where you from? Judah?
Toronto. No. But I'm a Benjamite. My father goes back to Guyana.
Oh.
Yes. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, man.
So you have all the information, and you know the way the spirit of GMS is like basically you get the information, and you know, and you get compelled. You get compelled to go out and go speak. You know,
but certain tribes, certain tribes got different beliefs, right? Between the GMS
or the camp.
The camp, sorry. The GMS, the GOCC. Yeah. Then there's IUIC. And between there got a little slight beliefs.
Yeah.
Out of IUIC, what really draw me into IUIC is that you do everything of the scriptures, right? I'm not saying that the other camps are not doing everything of the scriptures, but certain people misinterpret certain things too as well. So because one of the things that I'm not sure if it's GMS or GOCC, but one of the things that they was believing in was that a man can have 7 wives.
That a man can have 7 wives.
7 wives. Remember the scripture that said that 7 wives are cleaved to a man? It was speaking about the kingdom. It wasn't speaking about on earth.
Well, it's gonna also happen during the tribulation period. But there's many times in the scripture that tells you that yes, you're gonna have trouble in the flesh. Because even Paul, he said that if you have 1 wife, you're gonna have trouble in the flesh. And he asked the church. So if you can't contain, then you if you can't contain, then just get yourself a wife. But he said, I'd rather you be like me. You see what I'm saying? Because Paul was a eunuch. You know, he didn't have sex. He was so busy about the work that he didn't get a wife. But he even said that even 1 wife you can have trouble in the flesh, and it's not really so convenient for our people now to have more than 1 wife. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think it would really be GMS who really said that. I'm not really too sure
which group it was that said it, right? But I know some of the camps agree with it. And according to the scriptures, until heaven and earth pass, which heaven and earth has not passed as yet, that is when 7 women shall cleave to 1 man. So I can't remember the exact scripture that it's in, but I think it's in Corinthians or one of them scriptures. When Paul was teaching the laws of marriage.
But what you're quoting is actually in Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Yeah. About 7 women shall cleave unto 1 man.
1 man, yeah.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, so this is Isaiah 4:4-1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man, saying, will we eat our own bread and wear our own apparel? Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So this is really talking about in the tribulation period.
That day.
In that day. But for the tribulation period. Because remember, in the kingdom of heaven, our women, they're not gonna have to say, oh, let me eat my own food. You know, they're gonna have servants. You know, they're not gonna say, oh, just let me wear my own apparel, and take away and let me be with you, so it can take away my reproach, because they're gonna dwell in safety. kingdom of heaven. So the reproach right now is basically how we live now. Like we can die any minute. You know what I mean? So this scripture is actually talking about during the tribulation period. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are gonna need help, and a lot of our people, they're gonna realize in that time that's when they're gonna have to unify. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that scripture don't necessarily mean no in this period that we live in now.
I wouldn't advise it. But this scripture is really talking about tribulation period. Yeah, when the dollar collapsed, when Russia and America are going to war, when they start opening up concentration camps, when they're gonna call a draft. You know
the Bible already prophesied that 2/3 of the people on the earth will perish, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna perish, and then 2/3 of Israel too. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, Israel as well, not just the heathen, part of Israel, because remember a lot of people don't know that they're Israelites.
Yeah, that's why we have to push it out, because it tells us that basically this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole earth, and then that's when the Lord shall come.
Yeah. I think Zechariah 13:8 is the exact scripture where it's saying that 2/3 of the people is going to perish from the earth.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily meaning just the enemy like Esau and them, because most of the people is going to be Israelites too as well.
Yeah, 2/3 are going to die. 2/3 are going to die.
Their mind actually too corrupt that they can't understand, because Christianity destroy our people.
Yes, heavy. What is the biggest religion on this island? Roman Catholicism? Catholic? Or Protestant? I think it's Protestant.
I would say the Catholic is big. Then there's the Jehovah's Witness. They're big as well. Then the Anglican. They're big as well. The Baptist.
Yeah.
Those 3 or those 4 is the biggest.
Okay. Yeah. So that had caused a lot of destruction to our people, because also too, the scriptures tells you that this is not our rest, right? So basically, from slavery, from Jim Crow to all the atrocities that happened to us, there was no healing period for our people. So so we continue as a traumatized people, keep teaching our children traumatized things. You see what I'm saying? And there's no healing period. So basically in the kingdom, that's gonna be our rest, because we wouldn't be able to find rest here. Because a lot of our people's minds are seared with a hot iron.
Yeah, I can remember he tell us that he's going to send us strong delusion to believe in light.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
The light that he's talking about is Christianity. Remember, the Apostle Paul warned us about another Christ, another false Christ.
Yes.
In Corinthians, he warned us about that.
Yeah.
So, the strong delusion therefore will mean Christianity. That will have to be strong delusion that he sent us to believe.
But it's really one of them.
Yeah,
really one of them.
Remember Revelation 1, 14 and 15, that Christ was a black man.
Yes.
The Apostle Paul and him never preached that Christ was a Caucasian. The only religion that actually preached that was Christianity. That was the only religion that actually preached that.
Yeah, but then remember, there's also other people that try to come also and try to say that they're the Messiah too, like who was it, Jim Jones down in Guyana. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people follow him to his death. If you ever check out, if you ever type in a list of messiahs, you'll see there's a whole big list of people who claim to be the Christ. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, even Christ, he warned about that too. If somebody says, "Oh, Christ is over there in the desert," don't follow him. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people who try to claim themselves to be the Messiah. Even the so-called Jews, they have one guy named the Rebbe.
Remember the image of the beast. Remember they paint an image. I think it was Pope Alexander II son.
Yeah.
It's who they paint the image to be as the Christ, you know.
Yes.
And that man, his name was Caesar Borgia. That's the image of the false Christ. Remember, they killed the Jews that did not worship him. Because they were forced to worship that image, you know. Whoever didn't worship that image got killed. All of that is in the scriptures.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and then you know they did it to the other tribes as well.
You had to worship Caesar Borgia as you God.
Well, it was just very hard for you to stand up for the Lord. So
worshiping another God, they would kill you.
Yeah, so a lot of our people got put to death, you know.
Yeah,
for standing up. Just like during the time of the Maccabees, where they forced a lot of our people to Hellenize. Let me get that.
So you guys big in Canada?
Well, we have 3 camps in Canada still.
3 camps?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one
in
in
the northern part or the southern part?
Most of them are on the southern part, but they're in different provinces. So we have Saskatchewan and Winnipeg and Toronto, Ontario.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, so this is because we'll just like you're saying, basically happened again, you know. So this is 1 Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went out there of Israel wicked men who persuade many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So you know, even coming out of slavery, a lot of our people are like, oh, let's go make a covenant with the white man to go sell out our people. You see what I'm saying? Which a lot of our people are doing now. A lot of our politicians. Because what was it in 2012? When the Queen came over here, I forgot. There was only one politician who said he's not gonna go and give reverence to the Queen. You know, so a lot of our people, you know, they went and give reverence to the Queen, and the Queen, you know, basically they got their wealth from destroying us. You know, that's where the Bank of England, Bank of Nova Scotia, Bank of you know, all these international banks, they got it off our backs, off our forefathers. That's why a lot of the islands now are asking for reparation, you know. But so this device pleased them well. Then certain other people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. You know, so those are like the first established black churches. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in Canada you have like African Methodists, and you know those were like first established black churches. You know, the so-called white man let them congregate by themselves, you know, to worship him, right?
Yeah.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the custom of the heathen, which that place of exercise is in the Greek is known as gymnos, which is the gyms today, and gymnos means naked in Greek. So basically,
that's the old part means here in Greek, in Hebrew, sorry. Right.
So basically,
do you know the history of the Apocrypha?
How it got taken out?
Yeah.
Yeah. And made themselves uncircumcised and forsook the holy covenant and joined themselves to the heathen and were sold to do mischief. Yeah, so like I was gonna say about a place of exercise, gymnos, right? Back in Canada, I don't know about here, but back in Canada, back when I was growing up, if I was to go to the gym, go swimming pool or whatever, in the shower they would have naked men, naked so-called Edomites or whoever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Showering with little boys. You see what I'm saying? And all type of madness, you know? So, and that was in my generation. My generation back then. Now they don't really have it because the pedophile is exposed, you know, the white man, you know?
So how long are you gonna be here for?
Not too long still, not too long. But yeah,
you like the time on the island, how long you spend on the island?
Yeah, not too long. Less than a day.
Less than a day?
Yeah, less than a day.
He'll pass back and check you. He'll pass him back just now.
Okay, all right. Respect. All right, so yeah, so you know the word had gotten out, all right, to Barbados, all right. But now you know, now there's a step forward now of street preaching, all right, not holding back. Okay. Let me go back to Deuteronomy 28. So Deuteronomy 28 and 43. Deuteronomy 28 and 43. And the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and shall come, and thou shalt come down very low. All right, so that's what we see in these islands. A lot of these other nations, they come to this island, and guess what? They're prospering more than the people that have been on this island for years. All right. For example, all right, dealing with Guyana, all right, and Trinidad, all right, our people work and slave on the plantation field, all right. Then the so-called white man, he allowed the coolies to come in, and what did he do? He allowed the coolies to buy up the land, all right, that our forefathers were slaving on, all right, for less than pennies, man, all right. Then they turn around and say, oh, how come the black man can't get up off his feet? How come the black woman can't get up off their feet? Why can't the black family, you know, get up off their feet, right? When there's certain things that was placed, all right, barriers, all right, to destroy our people economically, all right? So they allowed the coolies to come into Guyana and Trinidad, right, and buy up the land for less than pennies on the dollar. You see what I'm saying? So now they're ruling in Guyana. Now they're ruling in Trinidad. All right. Even in different parts of the states, you know, there's a lot of places where it'll be 90% black. You know, Detroit, you have 90% black people there, and they don't own nothing, man. They don't own no gas station. All right, they don't own no grocery store. Why? Because they don't believe in unifying with themselves. They believe with integration. All right, which integration is a way to destroy our people, man. And it has destroyed our people in many ways. All right, it allows the other nations to take our wealth from us. All right. Morning. He shall lead thee, he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. Right? So isn't that true? Isn't that true that basically if we want a mortgage, if we want a loan, all right, we have to go to these banks. All right? And these banks made their money off of destroying our people. So we have to go to these banks, all right, for a loan, right? So when was the last time we loaned money to the IMF? When was the last time we loaned money to the IMF or any of these banks that are here on this island? Right? He shall be the head and thou shalt be the tail. Right? So these other nations, these strangers that shall get up with us, all right, and get up high above us, all right, they're gonna be the head and we're gonna be the tail, right? As long as we don't keep the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, right? Because the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments tell you to love your brother, right? It tells you to aggregate, gather yourselves together, O children of Israel, the nation not desired. All right, have our people forgotten, all right, that these nations, they don't want nothing to do with us, all right? These islands,
They come here for entertainment, but when they go home, guess what? When they're looking on the TV, they say, oh, look at these niggas jumping. They're just here for entertainment. They're only here to play ball. They're only here to play cricket. Right? That's how they view our people. All right? We can only sing for them. I'll jump down to 46. And they shall be upon thee, which is talking about the curses, for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. All right, so it's going to be a sign and a wonder upon our people. All right, to know who the Israelites are. These type of conditions that we're living shows you that we are the true biblical Israelites. All right, and those people in the land claiming to be Israelis, right? That's why they call themselves Israelis instead of they call themselves Israelites, or they call themselves Jewish, right? Which means the ish means pertaining unto, right? Because they study the religion. It's a study of the Jews, right? That's why they claim those things. Right? But those signs and those wonders and those curses and those conditions don't apply to them. All right? It tells you in the Bible when the real children of Israel go into the land, in the land of the Lord, that first off, the Lord is going to bring them back there. All right? Not no airplane. Right? Then it also tells you that there will be no more wars. No more wars when the real children of Israel go into the land of Israel, their homeland. But right now, right, you have people in the land claiming to be Jews, right? But we see right now the Palestinians and the Jews are going to war. We're seeing war in Syria. We're seeing war over there in the Ukraine. All right? And guess what? Just like in World War II, just like in World War I, all right, they're going to gather you West Indians, all right, to go fight for the British. All right? But a lot of our people don't know that this is the end-all, be-all war, man. All right? This upcoming war. All right? So this is, Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he hath destroyed thee. All right, which other people, all right, got a yoke of iron placed upon their neck? All right, so if we ever wanted to maroon, all right, and go gather up with our brothers, all right, who are the indigenous people of these West Indian islands, all right, the Carib, the Arawak, the Taino Indians, all right, a lot of them are going by different names now. A lot of them are going by Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, all right, and then we have little pockets, all right, scattered out throughout the island, all right. A lot of you so-called black men, guess what? You have a forefather, all right, that goes back to Carib Indian, Arawak Indian, all right. Those are the children of Israel, all right. As long, and so were the West Africans that were brought here. Okay. So that yoke of iron that was placed upon our neck, all right, was a way to if we ever wanted to go into the bushes, all right, and run away from this devil who had enslaved us, all right, we'll get caught up in the bushes, right? And then after, there's even many reports of how hard they worked the slaves on this island, man. All right, they worked them to death. All right, a lot of the bones that they're finding, these people they're malnutrition, right? Malnourished, right? But they were working. Some of their bones were broken, right? When they did tests, they can tell that it was from work. It wasn't from no physical abuse. All right, and even young children. All right, there's pictures of young children picking cotton. All right, and a lot of our people are in Canada, America right now, right? Young people, all right, picking fruits for these people, all right, picking their agriculture. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as an eagle flieth. All right? So the eagle, which nation holds the eagle up as their national symbol? All right? The Romans did, the Greeks did, the Germans, the Americans. All right? These are all Edomites. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. All right? So what do? They split up families, right? And that's even more of a reason for our people to realize that we're of one nation, that we need to unite. Because what did? They split up families. Now we're here today, right? But our beginnings, we could have started off as one family, right? Now we're on different ends of the island. Some islands, you know, oh, I don't like people from Mobay. You know, talking about Jamaica. Oh, I don't like people from Kingston, right? Uptown, downtown, you know? Right? Down the block, up the block. Alright, so this is 54 of Deuteronomy. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom. Alright, so before our people were dealing with each other in righteousness. Alright? But now we have an evil eye towards each other. That's why we have all the other nations ruling over us. And a lot of our people don't see a problem with that, because they might have a good job, right? They might be working with the corporations, right? We are not placed on this earth just to work for so-called white people, right? We are not placed on this earth to try to look down upon our people just because we work at the bank, right? And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. All right, which this is dealing with fatherless homes. All right, a lot of our problems stem from fatherless homes. All right, a lot of us, the sisters and the brothers out here amongst us, a lot of them had fatherless homes. Right? That's why also, if you're first is a man that was not there, your father, how can you respect the other men in your life that you encounter? When you go onto the job, you say, a man never told me nothing before in my life. Why am I going to pick up this box for this man? The way he's talking to me is too rude. So then the man say, oh, let me go on the street. Let me go try to make some money on the street so no man can tell me nothing. You see? So a lot of these men and a lot of these crimes, it goes back to being in a fatherless house, right? This is verse Deuteronomy 28 and 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for tenderness and delicateness, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. All right, which is also causing a lot of rift between our people. All right, because maybe the man left the house, so now you have a son that looks like the father. All right, usually that boy gets some extra licks, right? And we're gonna just be real. We're gonna just be real about it, right? So basically, what a lot of our people don't want to talk about is, all right, the Bible tells you not to spare the rod, all right, but a lot of our people are dealing with